Well, what's up guys, and welcome to another video. So today I want to just talk about, I'm going to do these on Sundays just because it'll be easier than trying to do them during the week. I'm 12 days in on LingQ for my Spanish, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. So far for the 2 weeks, and again, I'll do these on a weekly update base after this, but so far for the 2 weeks or 12 days, I have 605 known words. Now that's a little bit misleading because I did know some Spanish coming in. I have learned some stuff from LingQ. And there's been a couple of things that I've figured out and stuff, such as like imperfect and preterite and stuff like that, or like just several different verb conjugations I understand a little bit more so how to use because you learn them within context via LingQ. I've created 441 links, so there's 441 vocabulary words that I'm basically trying to learn right now as I'm reading throughout. I've learned 35 of those links, which seems really, really low, and you're thinking, oh, you've only learned 35 words in 2 weeks. That's not very good, but I've learned more. See, you can create a link, and sometimes some of the stuff I would create it just so I would refresh it a couple of times to make sure that I didn't forget it, especially like words that are derived from English or similar to English. I just wanted to make sure I used them a couple of times before, you know, I fully went out. Or even some stuff like pollo for chicken. I was like, okay, I know that, but like, let's just make a link real quick, and then I would move it to known words. And I don't know if it calculates stuff like that. Like, I don't know if you move it to known, if that counts it as a known link, because it'll take it from a 1, and it goes up to a 5, and then a check mark and stuff like that. But it's also not overly bad because it does take a little bit of time for these to go in. You study them, and if it's on a 1, I don't remember the exact scale, but if it's on a 1, you learn it, that shows you the next day. A 2 is, I think, 3 days. The 3 is 7 days. The 4 is maybe 15 or maybe a month or something like that. So really, it's not going to really start accumulating until later on once I've refreshed some of these. Now, you do refresh them as you read, so as you're reading, if it comes up, it will count that as you learning links as well. So as you're reading context, if it's a word that is in your links or your flashcards, so to speak, then you'll refresh it that way. So 1.3 hours of listening is not correct. I have listened to some of this stuff a little bit more than that. I was having issues with time calculation at the beginning, but I am listening to stuff, and so whatever. I am concerned about that, but I'm not as overly concerned about that. I've read 5,203 words, all that coming through context and stuff, so as you read, it accumulates how many words that you've read through, which is really, really cool. That's 5,000 more words probably than I would have gotten via Duolingo and stuff like that, which I am still kind of using just to get a little bit of refreshing things. I haven't wrote anything on here or spoke on here, but I do post on Twitter in Spanish sometimes, and I'll talk to people in Spanish and stuff like that. So that is where we're at. I don't have any goal for this. I don't have any goal for where I want to be next week because I just don't know, you know, it just depends. I am reading some stuff. I had a recommendation from Fing Tam Languages, Aaron. He recommended that I read El Principito. So I actually am reading through that right now, and I've got Harry Potter on here, which I'm reading because you can import your own files into LingQ and stuff like that. But so far, I really enjoy it. I do want to get a little bit further into Spanish, maybe get 5,000 or so words before, but I would like to test LingQ in the future. I was talking to somebody about this. I think this is a fantastic program, and honestly, at this point, not paid sponsorship or none of that stuff. Like, this is probably legitimately my favorite language learning thing out there, just because you're learning via context, and there's a lot of times that stuff is contextually different, or you use it for specific things, and you can learn that here that otherwise you kind of can't. So I really, really enjoy that. Like, for example, I never had heard of háblame de ti, so which is like, tell me about yourself. Never knew that, and it's not really a slang thing, but it's, you know, it's something that you don't learn from hello, how are you? I'm fine. So I really like that I'm learning some stuff like that. And that's the other thing with links. I create more, sometimes I'll create more than just simple one-word vocabulary things. I will create, like, contextually what a group of words means together. That way I can learn those. But later on down the road, I would like to do a test of going from scratch on a language, like something that you don't know, because I think that LingQ could be overwhelming if you're a complete beginner. I know Steve Kaufman recommends it highly, and which obviously it's his own program and stuff, and I'm sure that he has used it. But I do think that LingQ, if you were using it specifically and only from a first time learning, like if you have no experience in the language at all, I feel like it could be a little bit overwhelming. So I'll probably check into that later and do a little test. But anyway, that is the update. I am learning a little bit more, like I said, about stuff and how to use stuff. And I'm really, really happy about that. So Spanish is continuing on. But that is going to be the video today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.